So there's been a couple of stories in the news that have came out recently that I wanted to highlight. Now, one of these stories did happen a few weeks back, however it did slip my mind and I forgot to cover it, but seeing as one story that came out very recently is similar to that of the story that happened a few weeks ago, I've remembered it now, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. So let's go over that story that happened not too long ago, and then we'll jump into today's stories. On the 18th of September 2021, police had been called to Plenver Crescent in Haringey after a concerned member of the public reported seeing a young girl in a black Mercedes shouting for help. Originally, she'd been described as a 13 to 15-year-old and was attempting to get out of the car through an open rear window, with reports suggesting she'd been pulled back into the car. In an update to that investigation, detectives established that it was in fact a 25-year-old woman who's now in a safe place where she's being supported by officers. So far, police have arrested a 26-year-old man on suspicion of abduction, but he's since been released on bail and we've had no further updates. But yesterday, only a few weeks on, in a separate incident very close to where this first incident took place, a child was almost abducted. According to reports that came out earlier on today, police had been called to High Road in Tottenham at around 4:45 PM after a man had approached a 14-year-old girl, made lewd comments towards her and invited her to go with him. After he became forceful with her, it's thought that the teen managed to escape before running home and calling the police. This picture of the alleged attempted kidnapper has now emerged, showing handcuffs poking out of the back pocket of his jeans whilst he stood at a bus stop, but I'm unsure at what point this picture was taken. In an update though, a 50-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of attempted kidnap, possession of an offensive weapon and failing to appear in court. He currently remains in custody whilst inquiries are ongoing. That's the latest in regards to that story though, and if I do get any updates, as always, I'm going to keep you guys posted on these ones. Which leads us on to our next story though. A man has been jailed after he posed as a police officer in an attempt to arrest a lone woman. Again, the man is not a police officer. What I find interesting in this case though is that 44-year-old Gary Shepherd, after being charged on Wednesday, was jailed today, so only 2 days after being charged, he was jailed this week. In the sentencing hearing after pleading guilty to impersonating a police officer, it was heard that on Tuesday, the 5th of October 2021, at around 6:30 PM, he approached a woman as she walked to her vehicle in Greengate car park, Barrow. It was thought that he was wearing a blue lanyard around his neck with police written on it, and as he approached her, he told the victim he was arresting her on suspicion of drug dealing. She immediately questioned his credentials and called a passerby to help her. When both challenged him, he then fled the scene but was arrested soon after because the women had alerted the police. Again on Wednesday, he was charged with impersonating a police officer and appeared in court on Friday today, where he was jailed for 22 weeks. But give the video a like for more crime related content like this, and make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't. It's been me, Huncho, and I'll see you in the next one.